Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro. I'm so honored to be with you, to celebrate Shabbat, to honor our place not only in history, but in the future, to remember today as we commemorated International Holocaust Remembrance Day just yesterday. And we'll be reflecting on that day a little bit later on in our service. I am here along with our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman, who will be leading us through many of our prayers and helping us to allow our souls to ascend. Those who are here, you're all here via Zoom, we encourage you to share a blessing, to share something with others in the chat box. This is our way of connection, our way of being with each other. And we so very much miss seeing your faces face to face, but we know that your souls are very present here. And so we journey today. We're going to be opening with the singing of Hine Matov. How awesome it is that we're here together as a family. Hey, Liz, it's so good to see you.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so good to be here with all of you and to join together in recognizing the beauty of all of us spending this Shabbat together. Hine ma tovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manahim shevet achim gam yachad.
Friends, we're going to continue with the lighting of our Shabbat candles. And while I'm here at Temple Akiba, and I'll tilt my camera so you can see these candles being lit while Liz offers the blessing, I encourage you at home to just take a few seconds to find your Shabbat candlesticks if you haven't already lit them, and to light them with us. Look around and see if you can find them, and let's create so much light in our space that we build the energy in our souls.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. How beautiful it is to see the candles glowing as we join together in the Kiddush. Please rise if you are able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemase v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu vacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim.
Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash. It's kind of an irony. It means sing unto God a new song. How do you sing a new song if it's the same prayer that we've done every year for thousands of years? Well, it's a reminder that every time we approach our prayers, we find a way to make it real, to make it central, to make it speak as though we're saying it for the first time. So even though we've sung this melody for years and years, sing it as though you mean it for the first time. Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing unto God a new song.
Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song. As we take this journey, this new song, this new beginning, we call ourselves we begin to make the shift to calling ourselves to prayer. And it begins with separating this start of this journey to the call to worship. And we start with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 26. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala u'v'zman kariv v'imeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'l'almei almaya yitbarach v'yitkad v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru Amen. We continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. We've started the journey, we've begun the reflection. We step forward. We are beginning to pray.
There's a midrash, a story based on Jacob's death. Jacob, whose family had all moved to Egypt because there was a famine in Canaan, he was lying on his deathbed and he was really worried that Judaism, that the Hebrew tradition would end with him and that all of his children and their children would become assimilated into Egyptian culture. And so as he was lying there, his children all said to him, Shema Yisrael, listen, Israel. Israel was another name for Jacob, remember? So it's basically saying, listen, Dad. Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Listen, Dad, we will always believe that there's one God. Jacob was so relieved that in his last breath, in a very feeble, soft voice, he said, Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Blessed be God's name forever and ever. Based on this midrash, when we offer the Shema, we do the words of Shema in a loud voice, declaring to our ancestors that we are here. This was often that prayer that those who perished in the Shoah would utter when they were about to be slaughtered. So we say that prayer again. And that's also why we offer in a quieter voice the second part, Baruch Shem Kavod, reimagining how an older adult on his or her deathbed might barely respond with joy those words that we're saying.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. We continue with the Ve'ahavta, these words of love. You shall love Adonai your God, hearing the oneness, feeling that connection. We respond in all times, good, bad, happy, or sad, with love. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Emet, truly, we are connected with love, with this journey. And for those for whom the connection of their lives was severed by the Holocaust, there were still so many who were lost, but so many who were continuing our heritage to bring us here from that darkness to a place of light. And just like the movement of from darkness to light, we recognize also in the Micha Mocha a song of freedom, of joy that we escaped from slavery and that we live our lives as free people.
Our next prayer is a blessing that we only say in the evening time. It's the Hashkivenu. And it's a reminder that when we go to bed, we pray for new light to come tomorrow. But it's not only the physical light, it's the emotional, the spiritual light that we all are in such need of. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom, Lishalom, V'ha'amitenu Shomrenu L'chaim, V'ros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, V'ros aleinu Sukat Shlomecha, Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai.
With the blessing of safety and of light in the Hashkivenu, we turn back towards our ancestors, towards our memories, as we connect with the ones who came before us, as we say the Amidah, the Avot, the Gevurot, the Kedusha. Please rise. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Ahavot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Le'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibur le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al givurot, Umido melach, Melech memit u'mechaye, U'matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated, everyone. In 2007, not long after I began my service to Temple Akiba, one of our board members who is in leadership at Temple Akiba still today, John Magoulis, who is also with us in the congregation, he enabled us to sponsor one of the most incredible programs that I can recall us having. We invited Sandra Roberts to Temple Akiba. Sandra was an activist, but more than that, she was a school teacher from Whitwell Middle School in Tennessee. And Sandra came and spoke to us about a program that she spearheaded called Paperclips. Now, many of you may recall Paperclips. It began as a conversation with her class in this small little town in Tennessee, a class where there were no Jewish students and perhaps just a handful of those in the whole school district who weren't white. And they wanted to learn about the Holocaust. And they wanted to find a way to wrap their heads around the number 6 million, which is a number that's quite inconceivable. And it was her students who did research and said, you know, in Norway, as a silent protest, they wore paperclips to say this is wrong. And so her class embarked on a project to see what it would be like to collect 6 million paperclips. Now, this goes back to the late 90s when the project began. In fact, I remember as a young rabbi getting a letter in the mail from the school district asking if we had paperclips that we could send. Now, it took a long time for the school district to gain momentum. But pretty soon, some major philanthropists heard what this project was, and they began to spread the word. And before they knew it, truckloads of paper clips were being shipped in, and they collected more and more. But they soon realized that 6 million is not just a number that should roll off your tongue. They needed a place to store these paper clips. More and more kept on coming in from all over the country and all over the world. And so the project expanded. And this little town in Tennessee did more research. And they found one of the boxcars that was used to transport Jews to the death camps. And they somehow managed to acquire this boxcar and get it shipped to Whitwell, Tennessee. And this boxcar became a museum housing the 6 million paper clips that were found and donated, as well as other artifacts of the Holocaust. When Sandra spoke to us here in our sanctuary in 2007, there was not a dry eye hearing her story, hearing how someone in a town where no one really knew any Jews made a difference because they knew they had a responsibility. Dear friends, unfortunately, we have to juxtapose the heroic efforts of Whitwell, Tennessee, with what happened this week in the county of McMinn, Tennessee, just 90 miles away from where this small Holocaust museum is. Some of you may have heard that the school board in McMinn, in a 10-0 unanimous vote, has decided to withdraw the book Mouse from their curriculum. One second. For those who are not familiar with Mouse, this is Art Spiegelman's extraordinary prize-winning, mostly historic novel, graphic novel about his father's experience in the Holocaust. It shows the mice as Jews, the Nazis as cats, Americans as dogs, and there's some other depictions in there as well. It is an extraordinary important book for all people. And it had been part of the 8th grade curriculum, and it's now been prohibited. Why? Because of a few choice words that were not in alignment with the school board's vision, and with perhaps one illustration that showed the full body part of a woman. There's so much else that our children are exposed to, but limiting access to this kind of book is reprehensible. There's not much that we can do here in Southern California to effectuate change in this county in Tennessee. But I ask of all of you that if you know someone who is in high school or in college, a child, a grandchild of yours, to go and purchase this book, buy it online, make a good dent, not the bad kind of dent, but a good bubble in their sales. Because this is the kind of book that we all need to be reading. Now, the school board argued that there are many other kinds of ways to teach the Holocaust. And that may be true. There are so many books, and they want to explore those. But it shouldn't be an either or. There's an opportunity to have a both and. And the fact that they did this the day before International Holocaust Remembrance Day is a shanda. Makes me very sad. And I hope it makes all of you very sad as well. We're living in a time in our country when Holocaust denial is soaring, and when so many younger people do not believe that this happened. It's up to us to make the change and to be a difference, to make a difference. And it's up to us to carry the torch so that everyone in the future has access to as many pieces of writing and artwork and those recorded voices that are available. I want to close with a beautiful prayer that was written a couple of years ago in London by Chief Rabbi Ephraim Mervis, as well as Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby, and Senior Imam Kari Asim. They wrote this prayer specifically for Holocaust Memorial Day. Loving God, we come to you with heavy hearts, remembering the 6 million Jewish souls murdered during the Holocaust. In the horrors of that history, when so many groups were targeted because of their identity, and in genocides which followed, we recognize destructive prejudices that drive people apart. Forgive us when we give space to fear, negativity, and hatred of others, simply because they are different from us. In the light of God, we can see everybody equally, that they are precious manifestations of the divine, and can know the courage to face the darkness. Through our prayers and actions, help us to stand together with those who are suffering, so that light may banish all darkness and that love will prevail over hate, and so that good will triumph over evil. Amen. Friends, let's take a moment now to find the light inside of us, to find the light that can eradicate hatred in only the way that love can do. I ask that we take a moment to pray silently.
Eli, Eli, shelo yigamer leolam, hachor ve'hayam, rishru shel hamayim, ve'rak hashamayim, tfilat Tfilat Adam. Oh God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
Thank you so much, Liz, for that beautiful, beautiful prayer by Chana Senish. We offer now a prayer for healing, the Misha Berach. And as we offer this, as I look into your faces, I know the pain that so many of you are experiencing, whether it's a loved one in your family or friends, or whether it's your own pain, physical, emotional, mental, it's all very real. We ask that you place those names, if you're comfortable, in our chat box so we all can share in your feelings and be there with you.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
What an honor it is now to welcome one of the most extraordinary people in our community, a product of Temple Akiba and a dear friend and a wonderful leader, Stella August. Stella, Shabbat Shalom. It's good to see you here tonight.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to welcome everyone here to Temple Akiba this evening. I would like to thank Rabbi Shapiro and our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman. And I would like to tell you about a couple events that we have coming up. On Monday, we have Rosh Chodesh Spirituality for women from 8:30 on. That's January 31st. And then I want to tell you a little bit about our Shlachmanot, something special we're doing this year, a way of reaching out to the community, to your friends, your family, making people feel very special. I mean, especially during this time, it's so nice to reach out to people. You know, Purim's coming up, and when we read from the Megillah, we learn that Jewish people are charged with 4 mitzvot, which are commandments, in case you weren't familiar. During this holiday, one of the mitzvot is to give mishalach manot. It's like sending a basket, a gift basket. There are traditional items that you put inside that basket. And this year, Temple Akiba will be doing a special basket with a special theme, and hopefully will become an annual event where we'll have an opportunity, all of us have an opportunity to touch our community, an opportunity to thank the staff of the temple or the board of the temple. Anyways, I just, if you have any questions, ask Wendy Senelik about it. She's going to be around after the service, so just stop by and ask her about it. Again, Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for being here this evening.
Thank you so much, Stella. I want to add one additional announcement because you sparked a memory. Years ago, Stella and her husband, Matt, as well as Carol Diamond and Ira, Carol is here Zoom mastering us, came on one of our Temple Akiba Israel trips, and we had such an extraordinary time. Such an extraordinary time. There are others in our service right now who came on other trips to Israel with me, and I acknowledge that, and it speaks to my soul. I add it now because when thinking about the remembrance of the Holocaust, the Jewish story, of course, didn't end there. It continued with the pioneering spirit of creating this homeland for us. And this June and July, Temple Akiba is having our Israel trip, our first one in a few years. Come with us. Come with us, because it will be such an awesome experience and truly a transformative moment in time to connect ourselves to the land of our history and the land of our future. There are many of us who are signing up to go. If you are thinking about it, contact me, contact Robin Altman, contact Jeffrey Rips, contact Cantor Lonnie. We all have information that we can share with you. And we'd love to see many people from our congregation engaging with one another. So I want to offer that plug as well. Friends, we're going to continue now with our concluding prayers, the Aleinu. We ask once again for all who are able to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated, everyone. I offer the following reading. We have lived in numberless towns and villages, and in too many of them we have endured cruel suffering. Some we have forgotten. Others are sealed in our memory, a wound that does not heal. 100 generations of victims and martyrs, still their bloods cry out from the earth. And so many at Dachau, Buchenwald, Babi Yar. What can we say? What can we do? How bear the unbearable or accept what life has brought to our people? All who are born must die. But how shall we compare the slow passage of time with the callous slaughter of the innocent cut off before their time? They lived with faith, not all, but many. And surely many died with faith in God, with life, and the goodness that even flames cannot destroy. May we find a way to the strength of that faith, that trust, that sure sense that life and soul endure beyond this body's death. They have left their lives to us. A million prayers rise whenever Jews worship. Let a million candles glow against the darkness of these unfinished lives. For the 6 million, all of us, remember, remember, remember. We also recall those in our congregation who have died, who will always be implanted in our souls. We begin with those for whom we are in Shloshim, including Sunny Feinerman, mother of Carol Diamond, and Michael Shepard, father of Jen Shepard. If those in our community are in Shloshim, the first 30 days, please add their names to our chat box. We also remember the yard sites, the anniversaries of the deaths that occur on this Shabbat. And I will begin with those who have plaques in our Sue and Jerry Erfrig Memorial Room. Sylvia Borden, Harry Feldman, Ben Caham, Rosa Moses, Samuel Paperny, Michael Rosenthal, Hannah E. Sampson, Avi Tansman, Marie Zalkind. And as I continue with additional yard sites, if there are people that you are remembering for yard site at this time, please add those names as well. Edward Aronson, Frances Aarons, Shirley Barish, Lee Brockett, Darren Coffey, Ruth Draper, Louis Gordon, Regina Gottlieb, Barbara Heller, Lisa Hills, Jack Hirschberg, Steve Hook, Esther Jaffa, Jeanette Kaplan, Sam Kapolsky, Eloise Leonard, Ira Lurvy, Sarah Myers, Herman Nathanson, Jacob Perlick, Linda Pollock, Jean Sallin, Leonard Sattel, Paul Schulman, Fanny Schutbank, Mark Schenkman, Hannah Shine, Les Smith, Bill Solomon, Bess Weiner, Lou Winters, Evelyn Yarfitz, Anna Zebrak, Samuel Zebrak. May their memories guide us all toward goodness. If you have books with you, we're on page 294. We invite all to please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'yomad divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon of yomechon Uvechaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagalau v'izman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach leolam u'amei olmaya. Yiparach v'yishtabach. V'yitva'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal. Shemei dekudasha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav. V'yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol Yoshvei Tevel v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Please be seated, everyone. Cantorial intern Liz, what are we closing with tonight?
With everything that has happened in this service in our world, we are taking those last few lines of the prayer we just recited, Oseh Shalom Bimromav, may the one who makes peace in the high heavens bring peace for us, for all of us, this most precious gift of peace. Oseh Shalom Bimromav. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Thank you so much, Liz. Thank you so much to Carol Diamond, who offsite has been Zoom mastering for us tonight and just about every Friday night. We're so grateful to you. And I believe that we've got a virtual challah with Jeffrey Rips. Is that correct? Jeffrey, where are you? Where's your background? Ah, you got a real one there.
I got, yep, these are.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. So we're going to offer the motzi together. Everyone put your hands in and just be as connected as you can. Braid it like that, challah. Ha-motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices joining happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Ha-motzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Thank you, Jeffrey. Shabbat shalom, everyone.